A new experimental patch has just gone live on Overwatch, and these are the changes. As an overview, there are some big changes for Bap, some tweaks for Mei and McCree, and some very interesting changes in health for McCree, Symmetra, Brig, and Widow. Baptiste's primary fire recovery time has been reduced from 0.45 to 0.38 seconds, and the damage has been reduced from 25 to 24. His secondary fire recovery has increased from 0.8 to 0.9 seconds, and the healing's increased from 50 to 60. Amplification matrix has been nearly doubled, with the width increased from 5 to 9 meters.
Let them up.
Brigitte's base health has been increased from 150 to 175. McCree's base health has been increased from 200 to 225. And Peacekeeper's reload time has been reduced from 1.5 to 1.2 seconds. Mei's Cryo Freeze now restores 15 ammo per second, and her Ice Wall's also gone down from 13 to 12 seconds cooldown. Symmetra's base shields have been increased from 100 to 125. And Widowmaker's base health has been reduced from 200 to 175. Alright, so these changes are fantastic. I'm a huge fan. I'm a Bap player myself, so I can immediately feel how the changes affect you. You can now squeeze 2 bursts in between each healing grenade, which is very nice. And in terms of how he fits into the actual game, his ideal team comp with Sigma Orisa is almost not being played. It's kind of niche, and you know, to bring back up, they're making him a bit more versatile. I really like the change to his window. With a lot of dive characters going around, it should feel more usable by pretty much everyone in the team, obviously because it's bigger. In a lot of ranked games, I found myself pretty much just using it for myself, because unless you were really comboing it with another ultimate, it didn't feel like it was worth using. It'll be interesting to see if they actually put the 9 meters through, or if it ends up being slightly narrower, like 7 or 8, but overall it's good. The Mei changes make sense. She's not seeing a lot of playtime right now. She was meta-defining for a little bit, so they need to be careful with her, but I think in areas where she's good and you're actually making her work, she should be a little less punishable. She's definitely not overwhelming right now, so this is probably just a bit of quality of life and a minor buff. Not so sure about the Ice Wall, because it's really strong, and Mei has that presence of making space that an off-tank can, so they need to be careful with it, but it's probably not too bad. The health changes for McCree, Symm, Widow, and Brig are really interesting, actually. First off, I'm a huge fan of the Widow changes. She's the only hero in the game that can control such a long sightline, and no one else can, and it makes sense that Blizzard is finally addressing the hero itself instead of trying to make everything else that could possibly deal with it more powerful, which is how power creep ends up being a problem. A good Widow can force a team to play perfectly, so it seems more fair and in line with the design of the hero that you should be more particular, careful, and perfect about your positioning and how you take your shots. She can be very oppressive, so this is good. I'm not sure how I feel about McCree's changes. I like the reload changes. I'm not sure about his health. Obviously, it's in the experimental card, so Blizzard can see how it plays out, but they need to be a bit careful with how they tune McCree, because he is that sort of duelist character. If you get close to him, you're dead. So more survivability could be dangerous, but it might just be enough to make him as good as the other hit scan characters right now. I think the Symmetra changes are probably fine. Everything that she has a problem with will still probably be a problem for her. I think it's just a tiny bit more forgiving with playing to your strengths and utilizing your beam and things like that. This won't make her good all the time. It should just bring her more in line with being playable. Brig's 25 extra health might be the first buff she's ever gotten, because she's finally in line with other supports, and she's the character that you fairly trade off other supports for, so you get a bit of peel. I think you'd probably classify it right now as an okay pick, so yeah, I don't think it's really harmful. The current patch we're in is being praised by a lot of community members as probably the best patch Overwatch has had in a long time. There's nothing that's actually dominating meta. There's no one hero that you can point a finger at and say this is breaking the game, which is saying something considering something being broken has pretty much been a defining aspect of the game meta to meta for years. Now, saying that, this patch pretty much addresses every hero that's kind of okay-ish right now, barring Widow, who's gotten a slight nerf. And coupled with the changes, in particular Bap's changes, tank lineups like Orisa Sigma might see slightly more play now because Bap is a bit better. So we could be rapidly approaching a very, very balanced state of the game. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, hit the bell because I'm uploading every fortnight and you won't miss any of the content that I put out. I always cover the patch notes like this and give my thoughts on the general design of the game when they come out. So if that's up your alley, please check out the other patch notes that I've had a look at. I'm also putting out montages and funny moments. So if any of that interests you, be sure to give it a look. Thanks for watching guys, cheers.